thing. Hot tub. New music this morning. Hot tub.
Good morning, my little peaches. The time is 7:03 on this Friday.
It's
we
not
made
as cold
it.
as I thought it'd be
It's
out
not,
there this morning.
It's not.
I got
for
on my
all
long handle underwear.
intents and purposes, I, honest to goodness, was expecting, 17 degrees this morning.
I thought it was going to be Ice-Armageddon.
I did too. And that's been the top news story all week because
Yep.
on Monday, we were going to have a ice blizzard storm that was going to take over most of the state of Alabama to maybe the furthest northern part of Alabama is going to get some ice.
Yeah, they're saying,
I don't
that,
know.
we have wintry mix possibilities starting. They're saying now that maybe I-20 north, because, I-20 cuts the state left
Yep.
to right. So, but now they're even saying, well, it's probably going to be nothing below much Coleman north, and you'll have some, they're kind of fudging around. But, they have been saying, now you're right. I mean, Teresa, all week we've been hammered by all the weathermen saying, get your bread and milk and your supplies. We could have an ice storm. Trees could go down. Power could be off for days. Roads could be impassable.
Causing just absolute panic across the state.
Of course, in Alabama, snow. A snowflake sends us to the store for bread and milk. The chance of an ice storm sends us for camping stoves and generators and big stuff. My wife made me go buy a camp stove.
Just in case.
She wanted a generator.
Well,
but
I
I'm
did
such a
too.
tightwad. I started looking at these little portable generators we could leave right outside the house, and run an extension cord in. It's $200. I even went to Harbor Freight where they have some pretty cheap ones, but then I thought, well, I can spend $80 on a camp stove because I got big bottles of propane already. And so I did.
Well, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I text hubby and I was like, look, this on Tuesday they were still saying it was going to be
Horrible.
pretty significant. So I text hubby and I said, we need to look into getting a propane heater and or a generator. And he was like, let's evaluate this evening.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
We
He's
were
like
looking
me.
at it, and it was still showing that we could get something. Then on Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon, it had completely changed a lot, and we weren't getting jack squat. And he was like, "See, I'm glad we didn't rush out and buy all that stuff because it would have stayed in the box. We wouldn't have got to use it. So, and two, it was an expense that he really didn't want to fork out.
Me too.
But I was looking on Marketplace for, propane heaters and stuff because I told him, I said, look, let's just be honest. I'll be honest. I just don't want to be inconvenienced with being cold and not having access to my electronics. That's really what it boils down to me. Food-wise, we're good. It was the other stuff that I was like, if I have to be stuck with him for, 72 hours or more, I'm going to need to have something to do.
And get comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I've got one of those things that you can jump off a car. It's a block battery, lithium, and it'll start a car, but it also has all the things for your electronics. And so that thing will last week, charging your phone and stuff. So I took it in the house. Of course, I'll probably need to jump start my car and won't have it, but it's handy for that. So I felt like at least my laptop and my phones were good.
Going to be taken care of. And Baden, he found a little small generator power thing.
It's a powered pack.
It's completely silent. You cannot even hear it.
Well, it's a battery.
And it is, it is fantastic. Look, everybody needs one of those things. And I don't remember now where he said he got it.
I looked online for the same because of his. I was impressed because it's about the size of a little bigger than a motorcycle battery. It's like almost the size of a car battery, but not nearly as heavy. It's just a block of lithium batteries, I guess, but you can charge it. And once it's charged, you can plug stuff into it. I mean, you can run lights and it's got 120 voltage on it, and then all the little things. I want one too, and I almost got one. And I may get one yet, but they're about 100. They're like 70 to $80, I think.
And that's not bad. I'm telling you, that is not bad. And we use it when we go on location, and that beats lugging one of them big old generators that you got to fill up with gas and try to crank it, and then most of them are loud.
Well, I told Mary, I said, she was saying the same thing. What are we going to do if the power goes off? Because everything in this new house we just moved to a couple of months ago. In our other house, I had gas cooktop. Now, when the power was off, it wouldn't auto light, but you take a match or a lighter, and the gas worked.
And it would,
you could cook, and it kept the kitchen warm because it was a full cooktop. And then we had gas logs and some other things. So at this house, we only have gas hot water, and we do have gas logs in the fireplace, so we can keep the living room from freezing to death. But we don't have any way to cook. So I told her, I said, well, my truck has a one plug-in inverter. I said, we can always go sit in the truck if it's an ice storm, run the heater. I'll make sure we got plenty of gas in it.
Yeah.
We can idle in the truck, charge our phones, and I can warm something up or even plug in your electric blanket into the truck.
Great idea.
Yeah, and we could just live in the truck for a couple of days.
And then hubby
she said, no. I'm not living in the...
She's like,
no,
absolutely not.
No.
Hubby reminded me that he bought me an oversized sweatshirt. The thing comes down to my knees, but it's battery. So, and it has the little, the ports for your phone. It has
USB.
like all these things. It has 3 different things you can plug into your phone, whatever you need
and you
it
have
for.
A little battery pack.
And then he said, well, what if that's not enough? So he bought another battery pack that's a little bit bigger. So we each have 2. So we would have been able to keep our stuff charged for the most part.
Good.
While one was, if one drained out, we'd go put it in the car and charge it that way if we needed to. So we were going to be fine. I just, I was like, well, yeah, that's true. I will have that, and I can stay warm that way. And he got me these really, really cool, they're reindeers, socks. They're thick. And I put them on, and after about 15, 20 minutes of wearing them, I'm sweating. I have to take them off. But they're so comfy. But if it's 0 degrees, I mean, they'll come in handy. So,
well, I figure, I could always, I'm one of those, kind of like survivalist in the house, because I lived alone for so long. I was a bachelor for a while, and then, I got divorced and was still a bachelor again for about 8 years, and then, women keep you a little more civilized. If you're just a guy by yourself,
this is true.
You're like a bear. You're a bear in a house, and so I was, I always figured, well, if it got really, if the house was at 0 or below because there's no heat, I'll just go put on 9 T-shirts, 4 shirts, 2 jackets, and I'll just sit like the Michelin Man and just sit there and
because you're something like this, you could just doze off and you wouldn't need
just endure.
Just
and
endure.
Mary wants to, like you, she says, I don't want to just endure. I want to be comfortable. I want to be able to eat a little something. And, and I said, it's only going to last, these things only last in the South. You might go, in an extreme weather event, we might have 3 days, maybe 4 days. We did have that Snowmageddon where we went, like some people went weeks without power. My mother and father, they lived in Vestavia, and they didn't get power for almost 3 weeks because of the terrain. They couldn't get in there and fix the line.
Because of the ice. It wasn't the snow, it was the
snow.
ice. Yeah.
Ice tearing trees down and limbs.
But it is going to be cold, so temperatures are going to drop. Probably Saturday evening is when that part's going to really happen, I think.
So Sunday and Monday, that's going to be bad days.
And the sheriff's department sent out a thing on Facebook that said that the front lobby of the jail is going to be used as a warming station.
Really?
So if you need a place to stay, to go to get warm, you can go there. And also they said that if you know of anybody that needs help, needs assistance or something like that, to please reach out and let them know, and they'll do what they can. They want to make sure that all the citizens are safe.
Yeah, if you got neighbors or people that are elderly or have physical conditions or are sick, you need to check on them because, everybody thinks they'll be okay, but you never know, especially if you've got health conditions or you're elderly people that are kind of struggling anyway. You just want to make sure everybody's safe.
And well, Jeff and I both have kids that live in Florence.
See, my daughter lives in Florence.
So I was checking on them to make sure they were getting weather aware. And, Jeff's daughter just had a baby. He's not even a month old yet. So I was
scary.
like, are y'all prepared for the weather? And she was like, I guess. And she said, we have somewhere to go if the power goes out. And I said, well, okay, that's great, but if the roads are not passable, how are you going to get there?
Right, if you got ice on the roads.
She said her hubby thinks that they'll be fine because he's got a 4-wheel drive. And I went, oh, good man logic.
That's man logic, but the problem is 4-wheel drive doesn't do diddly squat over ice.
On ice, yeah.
It's great
That's
in
why
snow,
I said,
maybe. It's probably safer than 2-wheel drive, but
yeah.
ice is the equalizer, man. Unless you got chains or ice things on your, and even then it's dangerous. But we plan for the worst and wish for the best.
There you go. That's exactly what we have to do. Good morning, Tiger. He says, good morning, y'all, from
Tiger
the
Hit,
Farm Company.
The Farm Company, downtown Columbiana.
Also want to thank our morning show sponsors. Thank you to Chilton Mobile Home Supply.
Yes.
Country Financial Insurance, Central Alabama Wellness, Coca-Cola. Here we go. This is for you, Mikey. Mike Baker. He's our dude. He keeps us stocked with all the Coca-Cola stuff. Let me get my finger in here. I'm struggling.
Me too.
All right, ready? A 1 and a 2 and a. And you will notice that I don't have my standard slim can.
I know what happened.
Well, we drank them all.
You drank them all. Well, there you go.
They're gone.
And we had a lot of them.
We did. We are down to, I call these the nubs.
The nubs. Well, I've got my Coca-Cola Monster drink as well as my Coke. So I'm set and good now.
Oh, that tastes good too.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah, I apologize. Now I still have some
Crud.
coughing, and I'm having to clear my throat and cough. I have a tickle, and it's driving me nuts. But between the Coca-Cola and our Piper Peach Media Mineral Springs water
I didn't see
Simply
that.
Artesian,
Look at
I've
that.
been drinking that. Yeah, isn't that neat?
Piper Peach water. Mm-hmm. It's not peach water.
No.
It's Piper Peach.
Piper Peach water.
Water.
But somebody said it does need to be peach water, and I agree with that. There's a peach tea that they have out that hubby found in the store, and he'll bring me one every one. Man, that stuff is so good.
Is it?
Oh, yes. I love it. Absolutely love it.
I used to live during the peach jam that some of the vendors would make that peach. It was lemonade, but it was peach flavored lemonade.
Oh, that stuff is
Oh,
good.
boy, I would guzzle that
Oh,
stuff.
yeah. You can't get enough of that stuff. Also, thank you to our Chilton Chamber of Commerce, Larry Puckett Chevrolet, Putter Up in Pelham, and they have a big event coming up.
Do they?
Yes, they are doing a parent-child tournament on Sunday, February the 22nd. It starts at 1 p.m. They're doing 18 teams is all they're taking. It's 18
And the
team
parents
limit.
and the children are competing against each other?
I think the parent and the child competes against
Other parent and
parents.
child.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
It's $40 per group. The top 3 teams win, and a portion of the proceeds will go to Restoring Joy Recovery.
Oh, yeah.
Ken is really big into
Recovery.
that, and because he is recovering himself,
Yeah.
and he's very open and honest up front about that. But he gives all the glory to the man upstairs and his wife for standing by him through all of it. I've got it in my family. Recovery is a journey. You're always
Yeah. You're never
always in
cured.
recovery. You're never
You're
cured.
always fighting.
So. Thank you, Putter Up, for doing that, for giving back. Also, thank you to Old Orchard Amish Furniture, Wood Surfside Marina. They are your marina for Lay Lake and Lake Mitchell. They are located in Pell City off of Logan Martin Lake, but they do service out. There's not a marina out here, so it's good to know that we have them.
Yeah.
Also, thank you to Market 22, formerly Bees Market, and This and That Vinyl. We appreciate you all very, very much.
They do great shirts and stuff for us.
Yes, they do. There's so many stories. Look, I don't know if you noticed, you have a book.
I did see
You have
that.
you
it's
have a book here, and it's because One is because Ricky did his due diligence and he made sure that I had plenty of stories yesterday that I could do for today. But one of the ones that I wanted to talk about, there's two actually that I want to talk about. One is, Nathan's Hot Dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are
sure,
one
famous.
of the famous Nathan's Hot Dogs. They're
Right.
one of the most popular hot dog chains, I guess.
Out of Coney Island, New York.
Yep.
Right? And they do the big Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Yes, they
every
do.
year.
Well, Nathan's had already given the right to manufacture and distribute their hot dogs to Smithfield. Well, Smithfield made them an offer they couldn't refuse to just buy it lock, stock, and barrel, the whole thing, for just a mere $450 million.
$450 million. Doesn't sound as bad as I would have.
All cash.
Oh, that's a lot of cash.
All cash, meaning I'm going to just transfer this $450 into your checking account, and then you do as you please.
$450 million.
Million dollars.
Wow. Now, Nathan's, I believe, aren't they? Don't they have to follow the Jewish rule of food service like Shabbats? What do they call it? Kosher. Don't they have to follow kosher rules on Nathan's?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't either. A lot of the New
Interesting.
York ones
I don't know.
have to follow, like Shabbats and those others. They follow they're beef and they're not pork, and they. So I don't know about Nathan's. I know it's a great hot dog.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I know, yeah. For sure, it's a great hot dog. I want to say good morning to Ricky. He says I gave him a challenge, and he was up for it, getting me the news. Good morning, Steve. Thank you for watching and listening. Good morning, Pumpkin. She says, good morning, Mama and Dollar Bill.
Oh, good morning, Pumpkin.
Pumpkin, my baby. So yeah, that was kind of big news. $450 million is not.
That's a lot of hot dogs. You got to sell a lot of hot dogs to make up that, to pay that back.
Yeah.
But I
think
guess
it was
they do.
$100 a
Nathan's
share.
is huge, and they do. That's the big event every year. Is there? That's where that Chestnut guy. I forgot his first name. Is it Jerry Chestnut or something? Anyway,
The one that wins every time.
Could eat 200 hot dogs in 5 minutes or whatever. I mean, he's amazing. All of them are amazing, and of course they don't eat a hot dog. They just take the meat and shove it down their throat, and they grab the bread and soak it in water and throw it in their mouths. It's not about eating a hot dog. It's about getting a hot dog's worth of stuff down your gullet as fast as possible. So they just grab the hot dog, they throw the hot dog, pretty much chew it twice and swallow, grab the bun, dip it in water so it's goopy, and they can almost swallow it like a liquid. And that way they can just go. And it's kind of exciting, and it's also thoroughly disgusting.
Yeah,
to watch.
I was gonna say, I know folks.
And there's no
get
ketchup
sick.
or mustard or anything like that.
I know they get sick. I know they have to get. I bet some have to go get their stomach pumped. If I had to guess,
I don't know. I think nature pumps
probably
it
that
for them.
too.
And the thing is, they practice. I didn't realize this, but they practice like the week before the event. They eat hideous amounts of food real quickly, so they get used to ingesting a lot of calories and food like real quick, and it stretches their stomach. And then they do that up until like 2 days before the event. Then they don't eat or drink hardly anything the day before the event.
So they take this challenge.
Oh, they're like
serious.
They consider themselves athletes. They really do.
Okay.
They say we train, we work, we have to have muscle control. We are food eating athletes. And they really believe that. Of course, I guess in a way,
I guess they are.
because they are training their bodies to do something pretty bizarre. And like Chestnut was not fat. He was a normal sized guy.
Just a regular old size
And
dude.
he had for a long time, I think if I'm not mistaken, I'll have to Google it. This is coming out of my head, so this could be wrong. But it seemed like for a while he held like 5 records because he ate the most hot dogs, the most in whatever the time limit. He ate, I think, the most boiled eggs. He ate the most hamburgers. I mean, he was a food shoveling
Maniac.
Maniac. He was. It was
Yeah,
crazy. And then
rrr.
you got that Toby Chiaki. That was the phenom for a while. He's the one that knocked Joey Chestnut off his throne. He's a little skinny Japanese or
Who's the one you gotta
Japanese
watch?
guy.
Oh yeah, because they eat all that
Tobiaki.
rice and noodles
But
and
he was a little bitty thin guy, and he would eat 150 million pounds of food in 5 minutes. I mean, amazing. I mean, it is kind of amazing, but
Ugh.
it's an odd.
I mean, I'll eat a hot dog. I like hot dogs that are really super duper done.
Oh,
And
you like them
then-
blackened and all that?
And I either want the hot dog and just the bun, nothing on it,
Really?
or I want it all the way minus the slaw.
Yeah, see, I tend to, I
I-
like mine
I'm
kind
one
of
way
loaded up.
or
I
the
don't put
other.
like tomatoes on it, but I do like.
No.
And I only put mustard on mine. I don't
Oh.
do ketchup or mayo. My wife.
I
puts
don't do mayo.
My wife puts mayo,
That's
ketchup.
just weird.
It's disgusting, and maybe a little mustard. But she, basically, I think what she likes on hers is Thousand Island dressing on it. But anyway, she likes chili dogs. My wife would eat a hot dog over a steak. She loves hot
Really?
dogs. Yeah, and I
Mary.
like hot dogs okay, but it's like it's okay. I mean, I like hot dogs, but
Yeah.
I don't just, every now and then I crave one. And I love the Sneaky Pete hot dogs.
Yeah, the sauce is
that
what
has
gets
the
me,
sauce and
yeah.
the kraut, but Mary she likes chili dogs and beef dogs and all that stuff, But I
I
like 'em.
tolerate them. They're not my favorite, and if I have another choice, I will eat the other choice. But I will have them.
That's one of my wife's favorite things in the world is a hot dog, which is great because my first wife, I had to take her to Ruth Chris Steakhouse or some of these Perry's and these places and come out with a $200 dinner. I can take Mary to Sneaky Pete's, and for $6, I've got her happy as a lark. I like that.
Yeah. Hubby likes Mexican food over anything, so if he has a choice, he's picking Mexican. I'm going to pick a steak, though. And it doesn't have to be an expensive one. You can take me to the local diner and get me just one of those little,
steaks, yeah.
thin ribeyes, and I'm good to go.
I love Mexican. Well, I like food. That's my problem.
my problem,
I
too.
just like to eat. I like food, but
I don't
like
look like I
everything.
missed a meal.
My wife's picky, but I like everything.
I'm
There's very
picky,
few-
too. I
there's-
don't want it spicy.
I love spice. You can burn me up. Well, my wife doesn't like spicy or hot. Now, I love hot, and I like spicy too, but
Yeah.
holy cow.
Can't do it. All right. I'm going to say good morning to some folks. I see some more people hopping on. Good morning, Miss Martha, newlywed. Good morning, Jamie.
Newlywed.
Also, good morning to Haley. Thank y'all for watching and listening. It is 7:25. We're way, way late for a break, so we're going to go ahead and take one. When we come back, I want to talk about child care costs
Ooh.
and a new, I don't know what you call it, a new discovery in Alzheimer's. So
Good, because I think I've got it.
So we're going to talk about
Oh.
that when we come back. So y'all stay with us. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clinton Tractor Studios. We'll be right back.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
Are you tired of big box stores where you're just another number? You deserve better. Furniture that's built to last from people who treat you like family. At Farmers Home Furniture in Clanton, we do things differently. As an employee-owned company, we take pride in personal service. We'll listen to what you need and help you find the perfect piece for your home from trusted, top-notch name brand. Whether it's a cozy sofa for movie nights, a dining set built for real life, or a recliner that melts the stress away, we've got you covered. Don't settle for less. Experience the difference at Farmers Home Furniture in Clanton, where you're not just a customer, you're family. We are back.
Yes.
The time is 7:31. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill on this Friday morning. We're so excited.
Going into a weekend that's looking a lot better than we thought it would be earlier in the week.
Thank goodness, too. Wow, it's going to be too cold for me to really want to do much.
I know.
I'm just hanging at the house. I feel like, Dateline, 48 Hours, 2020, calling my name.
60 Minutes,
Yeah.
all those things you
Not
watch.
60 Minutes.
You don't like 60 Minutes?
No. I like the crime drama.
Oh, I see. You're not looking at real news.
No. I mean, it's
you're
real
wanting-
news, but...
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's the
What's
who
the one
did
where
it
that
and
guy's
why.
creepy that does all with the
He's
white hair?
Dateline.
Dateline. I love that.
You know who he is, right?
Do you think they really did want to kill her? No. That sounds interesting. He chopped her head off. Oh.
You sound just like him. But you know who he is, right?
No, I mean, I've seen him for years do those shows.
So Matthew Perry, the guy that played Chandler on Friends, that's his stepdad.
No way. You're
Yeah,
kidding
no,
me.
I'm not.
You know, I've met him.
Really?
He came to Birmingham. Oh, man, what was it? Menendez brothers. When the Menendez brothers were on trial, you know, they had come to Birmingham regularly because, you know, one of them wore a toupee.
Right.
And he got his toupee from,
I believe he told me something about
yeah, from the Latham's Hair Clinic here in town. And we got to interview him. I did on the air. And he was wonderful to interview, but you find yourself just looking at him because you've heard him all those years, and you'll go, so what's the most hardest thing, you know, you've ever had to cover or something like that? And he go,
Well, I covered where one man, he had killed his own children. Ooh, it was horrible.
and you're like, wow,
Oh my God.
so weird.
He has the creep factor.
He does,
But
and I love
it's
it.
captivating though.
He is
because
captivating.
You're definitely you're
sucked
listening.
in. You're sucked in.
Yeah, you are immediately sucked in.
Really?
And another one that I know her voice the minute she speaks it, Paula Zahn.
Oh yeah, Paula Zahn.
I mean, you know her and
She's been around
Hall.
forever.
And Tamaron Hall, the reason that she got into doing these crime shows like this was because her sister. I don't know if she disappeared or she was murdered, and they never found out who did
No
it.
way.
And that's how she got into this, was searching for what happened to her sister.
You know, it's kind of like what's the guy that always does America's Most Wanted?
Oh yeah, Walsh. What's
Walsh.
his name?
You know, his son. He got into that because his son was not only horribly was taken, he was decapitated. You know, they found him with his head cut off, and I think they didn't find out who. I
Yeah,
don't
they
know if
ended up finding out who did
that.
it. Yeah,
But
John
that's how
Walsh,
he
that's
got
his
into
name.
like America's Most Wanted.
Yep.
John Walsh, yeah, and now his son's working with him. One of the surviving grown son.
Yeah, the little boy that that got him in it was Adam Walsh.
Adam, that's right.
Yeah, I remember
that's
he
right,
was-
because they did the Adam Walsh.
They had him on milk
something.
cartons and
Yeah.
stuff. I remember that when I was younger.
Yeah.
Well, I had some stuff I wanted to talk about today because, and one of the reasons is because I have a friend that was just diagnosed with something, and he actually made a public post about it, and I was like, he's awfully young. He must have been.
What did he
must
get
be having
diagnosed
some
with?
Early onset Alzheimer's.
Oh, that's the people that get it early like that. That stuff's usually aggressive, and it's scary as it can be because it takes
Yeah.
people out sometimes very early in life.
Well, and the reason we're talking about it is because the FDA has now approved a blood test, and that offers new hope for Alzheimer's diagnosis, because before this blood test, the only way you could tell if somebody had Alzheimer's was
Symptoms.
and by just kind of over
Ruling
time.
out everything else.
Yeah, and
Yep.
over time, and by the time you figured out that it was Alzheimer's, it was at the point usually debilitating and
Right.
too
late to do much
too late to
about
do
it.
anything. Well, this will help you like this immediately. If you start showing symptoms, you're 55 or over, and you start showing any kind of symptoms, they can do this blood test, and it'll tell them if you have that. Is it like a protein?
It's a protein.
That
yeah. It's a marker.
It's a marker, yeah.
Yeah.
So with that means that they can go ahead and put you on
Some of the protocols
the
and
protocols
stuff.
and stuff to help. Once you have, if you have the marker, it's not going to go away. But what they can do is prolong it and
Slow
help
it down and
maintain
all
it,
that.
slow it down, the
Yeah.
progression of it, and things like that.
My wife, Mary, has actually had that test. She had it done just she was having some memory problems and stuff, and she was worried about her cognitive abilities, and she's, in her 70s. So she went to the doctor, and he said, we got a new test we can run now that we take your blood and we send it off, and it comes back, and it tells you certain markers. It can be definitive for people that are pretty serious into it, but it also can give you insights into whether or not it looks like you might be developing things. So it's not like just an on and off switch for, oh yeah, you got it or you don't, unless you do have it bad.
Mm-hmm.
So she was in that category where she was having some problems. So they did it, and they saw some elevated markers in some areas, but he said, I think you're going to, if she has Alzheimer's at this point, it's apparently the slower whatever, and she's already in her mid-70s.
Yeah,
so
non-aggressive.
It's non-aggressive. So we'll see, but it was a wonderful thing to know you could, now they've got, of course, they used to have to, what they would do is they would go in and do all these brain scans with
that's
contrast.
what I was gonna say, MRIs and things like
with
that.
contrast, and you look for the amount of plaque in your brain. That's what Alzheimer's is this buildup of this plaque in your brain that supposedly is what's destroying your your neurons and stuff. Anyway, it was just tedious and not real good. So this is a good news that they can do a blood testing, I hope they can find some stuff, because, it's one of these things. I think Alzheimer's, they don't know if it's just was never diagnosed and people just said it was people that just had either were getting old or had dementia and all this stuff. And I'm not sure what the clinical difference is between dementia and Alzheimer's and some of these other things, but it just seems like to me something may be causing this increase. I don't know if something is causing people to have Alzheimer's, or people are just living longer and more people seem to have it because they would have, 30, 50 years ago, you were lucky to live to be 55, and now the average age is 84. So a lot of people are living longer lives and healthier lives, and so I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm not a medical doctor at all, so I mean, I'm confused by all this stuff. But I'd like to be interesting to know what the story is on that. Because remember, for a while when they first kind of diagnosed Alzheimer's disease, when they came up with it, we'd never heard of that before, and they kind of said there's this thing called Alzheimer's, and people, what is that? Can't pronounce it. They said that.
So bless you.
that they thought Teflon caused Alzheimer's.
I remember
that?
Yeah, the flakes off after it
and people
gets
were throwing out their nonstick
Teflon.
cookware and stuff. And then they said, no, it's not that. It's aluminum. And so people using aluminum pans and aluminum pots and pans and tried to, and I don't think they know. I think it's one of those things. They just were throwing stuff out there. I don't know that they have any. And now they're saying it could be, they're talking about how a lot of plastics will give you those, I forgot what they are, PB something. It's those things that never die. They're called immortal cells. I mean, mortal.
Is it parabens or something like that?
Something
What they call
like
it?
that,
I don't
yeah.
know. I'm probably way off
No, I
base,
don't. Me too. But it's the stuff that you can get from certain plastics that get in your system and never go away. And once they're if you put them in the landfill, their lifespan is like 2 million years.
Oh, geez.
I mean,
Okay.
they're saying it's immortal. That once you make that compound, man-made compound, those whatever they do to the molecules and all to make that plastic, it never goes away. It never degrades. It never.
Which is why recycling is so big in that way,
Well,
because you can reuse it and not can make more.
And it's just more of the negative stuff.
Yeah.
So they're saying it builds up in your system. So they're thinking now, well, maybe that's got something to do with it. I don't know. You know what? We don't leave this world alive, so.
Well, and I used to make fun of. I'd say, "Wow, I'm having a dementia moment. I must have Alzheimer's," or something like that. But I will say, it becomes less and less funny when you're my age and all of a sudden you are having some memory issues and you don't know what it's attributed to. You're like, it could be the fact that I'm just overwhelmed. It could be the fact that I'm going through second menopause. It could be anything.
I think I'm going through my second menopause too. I went to my doctor a couple of years ago and I said, I told her, I said, I'm really worried. I said, I'm starting to have, my memory's not what it used to be. And she just started laughing. I thought, well, that's kind of insensitive. She said, did you ever, when you were 21 years old, couldn't come up with something and you'd think about it, and finally it'd hit you at 2 a.m, you'd sit up in bed and know that name? Or did you ever want to do a comeback right when somebody said something smart to you and the next day you come up with the comeback that would have been perfect? I said, yeah. She said, no different. She said, you didn't think it was Alzheimer's then because you were 21 years old. I went, oh, yeah.
Oh, that's...
She says, your brain is not perfect. And you can't, she said, now, if you start not knowing, what day of the week it is or where you live, and she said, then you've got problems. But she said, just memory lapses. She said, you've had those since you're born. I mean, that's just memory. And I hadn't thought of it. It made me feel a lot better because, I can still, I've never was good at math, so it's not like I'm losing my math skills. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, in my stuff that I can't remember, it's just day-to-day mundane things. Like
I walk in a room and don't know why I went in there.
Yeah, I'm just like, what in the world is happening here? But yeah, Luann, I've never heard this, Luann. She says low B12 is also supposed to be tied to memory loss.
I've heard that too.
I've not heard that, so that's interesting.
My doctor told me to start taking B12 or
Really?
B complex. Yeah, he said just take a B complex, or if they have B12 that comes in a sublingual. You just put it in your mouth and chew it up, and you hold it under your tongue, and it absorbs directly under your tongue into the bloodstream rather than going through your digestive system.
Really?
And they're real taste. They taste like orange, tangerine, whatever. And
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. So I've been on B12 now for a while.
Okay.
And for a lot of people that are on metformin and some of these and some other medications, it depletes your body of, I think, D and some B complex, B vitamins. So you gotta, if you're diabetic and you're taking like a metformin or what's that other one that's a mixture of metformin and the other one?
Is that for diabetes? Okay, yeah. All right.
It'll deplete that. Speaking of diabetes, thank you.
Oh yeah, we forgot to talk.
The other day was National
yesterday,
DJ Day.
Yeah.
Yes, day before.
Day before, okay.
And Baden was nice enough and Therese brought me she says she's not a DJ because she's a talk host.
I don't spin records like you used to do.
I think if you're on radio nowadays, you're a DJ in a sense. But
okay.
I did start out as a DJ, and I mean a true one, because when I first started in the radio, we spun records.
Yeah.
We actually had 45s and albums, and one of the worst mistakes you can make on the air, because everything was live, was to start a record at the wrong speed, because you only had two turntables. So you had to remember, if you went from a 45 to a 33 and a third, you had to remember to shift the speed. And it was the worst. You would just take a gun and shoot
either
yourself
going,
if you ever.
or
Or the Chipmunks.
It was definitely much harder to be one back then.
It was crazy. I look back
for
now.
Sure.
You were so busy because when you got in there, I mean, when you came off a 4-hour, say, shift, or sometimes 6 hours, you were literally exhausted because you had to pull 40. A song lasted back then. An average song was 2 minutes and a half, 2.5 minutes. You think about all these, until they started getting some of these long songs like Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald and Hey Jude and some of those. The average song, hot, popular, top 10 song, was 2.5 minutes. That means every 2.5 minutes you had to do something, be ready with something. So that means the minute you started the song and introduced it and turned your mic off, you had to get the old song off the other turntable of the record, put it away, get another song, put it on, cue it up.
So you had more than one turntable, which made it a little bit better.
Two. Well, you had to have two.
Yeah.
Because if you ever wanted to go from one song to another, you had to have another turntable just to segue it to.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
but every 2.5 minutes, that had to happen. You also had commercials to do. And a lot of commercials back then, you read live, or you put them on they came off reel-to-reel tapes. And you'd thread up a reel-to-reel. You usually had 2 or 3 or 4 machines, and you're threading tape, and you're getting.
It was that tape that's like a cassette tape, sort of.
But it was Ampex.
But it was Ampex.
But it was on a reel.
Yeah. My dad had reel-to-reels. He just had tons of music on it, and he had them all labeled with what it was.
He was an audiophile.
They were in these steel can or these tin can things.
Right.
Yeah. All right. It is 7:47. We're going to take a break.
Anyway, thanks for my cookie.
Yeah, and we're going to eat some cookie. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about childcare in the United States.
Oh, it's a tough one.
It is a tough one. So y'all stay with us. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Therese and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clayton Tractor Studios. We'll be right back.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you, whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss. Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience. Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mayhem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mayhem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
We are back. The time is 7:51. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Therese and Dollar Bill here with you this morning.
Yep.
I keep looking at that cookie. I kind of thought Baden would get us a knife or something. But
don't
if you
need a
want
knife,
to,
it's a cookie.
you just pinch off a piece and go to
break
town.
off a chunk.
No, it's yours. You need to.
No,
you need to
go
do it
ahead.
first. You need, okay. Well,
It's ours.
Don't.
It's all of ours.
It's everybody's.
No, you're right. No, I've eaten it. It's mine.
It's yours. Okay. Gotcha.
No, it's good.
Good
Good
cookie.
chocolate chip cookie.
Good job,
With,
baby.
what are these things on it? Little icing.
Yeah. Just take the whole icing thing. Eat it.
You know what I want? I like saying this because I'm eating an icing nipple. It just seemed naughty.
Oh, Lord. You're a mess. I wanted to talk about this because I know there are a lot of families out there that deal with this daily. And it is something that it's one of those things where when you have children, back a long time ago, you didn't really have to worry about daycare a lot because you typically had
Mom stayed
at home.
My mom did.
It's not that way anymore.
No.
And by
Now
the time
everybody works.
The 80s came around. My mom worked for the most part, off and on, throughout my childhood. But we were latchkey kids. We never did daycare. For a little bit after we got off the bus, we'd go to her name was Miss Nichols. She lived out in Calera. And she had about 30 kids that she took care of after school every day. And it was great because the bus would drop us all off there. She'd boil potatoes, make a big old pan, a couple of pans of cornbread and sweet tea, and she gave everybody a snack. We got boiled potatoes and sweet tea. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, there was kids running around everywhere. I mean, they're dirty. No kind of homework being done.
No.
We're just running around like a bunch of heathens. Well, now, this day and time, you can't afford. You're in a catch-22. You can't afford not to have two parents working, but now you got to put kids in daycare, and you can't afford that too.
Well, they say a lot of times now it's come to the point daycare has gotten so expensive, and especially if you have more than one child, the one of the parents is working just to pay for childcare. It's almost crazy. It's like,
why do it?
She wants her career, or he wants his career. I mean, it's two parents. One of the other's working pretty much full time just to pay for the child care to keep the kids. It'd almost be the same thing if one of them didn't work.
Exactly. And here they're saying now that child care for two kids costs more than rent in 85 of the 100 largest U.S. metros.
Wow.
It says here in some of the largest metros, at least 100 of them, child care for the month is $2,252.
A month.
A month. But here's the thing. I get it because daycares, it's expensive. You have to hire enough bodies per so many kids. Most of the time, if the kids are in daycare, if the younger ones anyway, they're in there all day, every day. And it gets expensive because liabilities and the cost of lunch, breakfast, snacks, and all that stuff is expensive.
If they are licensed, they're held to a certain standard.
Exactly.
And that's only so many kids per teacher or supervisor. Certain food needs, safety needs. You want that for your kid. Here's the problem. What if you and your husband or you and your wife both work and you're making a little over the minimum wage? Now, you can't afford childcare at these expensive places. So what happens is you get this underground childcare thing where a lady in the neighborhood who maybe doesn't have money, does an unlicensed daycare thing where you just drop them off at her house and pick them up. You don't know what in the world is going on with them. There may be no guarantees. You don't know what the safety is, they're being fed, what their conditions are. Are they safe? Are they not? You just don't know. But they got to do it because they, excuse me, they got to work, but they can't. And, you also start to see these stories that we see all the time where they'll find out that there's a woman working in a store or factory and her kid's out in the car all day or all night because she goes out and checks on them because she can't afford to put them anywhere.
And that's how it was over when I was little and stayed at that lady's house, Miss Nichols. It wasn't like she was
Licensed.
Miss Nichols daycare.
Right.
It was just drop the kids off at Miss Nichols' place, and you know she was a big heavy-set woman, and she spent a lot of time inside, but she'd come out and wave a spatula around and tell. But we were falling out of trees.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we were accidents waiting to happen out there, and you get that many kids. It wasn't really 50 kids, but there was at least 20, 25 kids, and you know, she didn't have anybody helping her. It was just, you know, that we were just she was a landing spot, because at least there was some sort of
There was some kind of adult
yes,
supervision.
Exactly. But she had babies in there. I mean, it was just,
Well, I mean,
you know,
that's
it
what
was
it was when I was
wild.
growing up, and you know, there was sometimes you'd have in neighborhoods you have the one woman, or usually a woman. Sometimes it's a guy, I guess, but that doesn't work. Her husband works, she doesn't work, so she'll keep her kids and maybe a couple others for a neighbor, and that's, you know, that's okay. But when you start seeing these underground child care centers, where like Ms. Nichols did, where it's one lady and she's taking care of way too many kids and alone, or by with her niece, or what, you know, one person or two people, it's kind of scary, but it's necessary, because what's a person going to do? All right, let's say you are making minimum wage at
Which
a
is
job,
it's $7.25 in
and you're
Alabama.
all alone. You're a woman that has no, you know, that you're a single parent, man or woman, and you're trying to work every day, and you don't have any family or anybody close around that you can depend on. What do? You got to work. The kids got to be somewhere, but you can't afford to put them somewhere. I think this is one of those deals where I'm not one of these people that the government should take care of everybody, but you know, for the safety of children, and I think that's one of those things where these government daycare centers, basically, like kindergarten. You know, kindergarten was originally set up in Germany way back in the teens or 20s, and kindergarten is German for something like children's garden or whatever. Anyway, it was set up by the state to take care of little children whose parents worked in factories and stuff. And back then, of course, there was no regulation. They left a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old with a 9-year-old watching them all day, at home.
Exactly.
So I think they need to come in with something. I'm pretty conservative. I'm not for big government projects, but when it comes to making sure all children get opportunities and are safe and are fed and are educated, because right now you got a lot of kids coming up that they're coming up like hoodlums. All kind of kids, because they just simply have nobody at home but an older brother or sister that's in the same shape they're in, and they're not getting any supervision, no education, they're not getting fed right.
That's true.
But there's no way to fix that, because if you're a single parent and you're not making much money, what do you do?
Well, and the other alternative is everybody's on welfare because nobody can afford childcare.
They'll just stay home and get welfare.
Work. Exactly.
And
so
that way they don't have to pay for childcare.
It's just it's a
catch-22.
It is a very big catch-22, and I hate to see that. I didn't realize that I knew it had gone up since my kids were in daycare, but I remember struggling and thinking, how are we going to pay daycare this week? I mean, I'm barely making enough by the time insurance got cut out and, everything else. I mean, I'm, scraping by on, gas fumes to get to and from work. It was awful.
It is. Of course, I had an uncle, his answer for that was, quit having babies, quit having kids.
That's another thing.
Well,
you gotta honestly take that into consideration before you start having a family.
You do, and a lot of people don't.
They don't.
And that's the problem. You got people that might have 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. Here's the problem. What if you're, like if you're Catholic and you believe every child is God's blessing, that you're meant to have it if you're meant to have it, you can't tell them you shouldn't have children because they believe that's just God and life.
Exactly.
And then there are people that just have babies that.
There's that too.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. It's 8:02. We're going to take a break. When we come back, talk about a story. This had me in stitches this morning.
Uh-oh.
An Italian basketball team. I got to tell you what happened with that. It is, it's funny, but it's kind of like, oh man. So we'll talk about that when we come back, as well as Dine, Dashed, and Threatened at a restaurant. So we'll talk about that too when we come back. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. You're listening to Treese and Dollar Bill, broadcasting live from the Clanton Track Studios. We'll be right back. Forgot.
Traditions come and go, but excellent service and compassionate care are benchmarks in any era. That's what Ellison Memorial Funeral Home is committed to providing you. Whether through the pre-arrangement process or seeking services at your time of loss, Ellison Memorial offers a noticeable level of care and attention to detail. Others do not. So before making a decision based on yesterday's traditions, experience the Ellison difference when it comes to your loved one's final arrangements. You'll be glad you did. Call us today at 205-280-4600. Ellison Memorial Funeral Home, setting the new standard in local funeral service excellence. We are always here when you need us.
Underage drinking is deemed by many adults to be a rite of passage. Parents who host parties for youth may think they are being protective, but they are actually putting their youth at risk of physical and social consequences. Know the truth. Underage drinking and social hosting is a bad mix. For more information, contact Central Alabama Wellness, 205-651-0077, or visit centralalabamawellness.org.
Chilton Mobile Home Parts and Supply is your go-to destination for top quality mobile home parts and supplies in Clanton, Alabama. Conveniently located at 14023 County Road 29, just 3 miles east of Thorsby. We offer a diverse inventory, including underpinning, doors, windows, faucets, tubs, setup supplies, and more. Our commitment to quality ensures you'll find the best solutions for your mobile home needs. Upgrade your space with stylish doors and windows. Enhance functionality with top-notch faucets and tubs. All conveniently available in one place. Visit us today or call 205-646-1949. Transform your mobile home with Chilton, where quality meets convenience.
Crazy.
Insane.
We are back.
I think there are people that are just insane.
It is 8:05. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on
There
Piper
are
Peach
people in
Radio.
this world that are just plain crazy.
Like loony.
Yeah. Well, no, crazy.
Looney Tunes.
Come
This
to one. If
story-
you don't believe that, come to one of my family reunions.
Right. Oh, this story is it's kind of sad. It's one of those crazy stories. You're like, what happened? There was an Italian basketball team that was in a championship game. Okay.
I didn't know Italians played basketball.
I didn't either, but they do. And this was against some
Pass
other...
the ball to me. Pass the ball to me.
Exactly. Well, they due to some financial reasons, they went to this tournament with only 5 players.
So, how are they going to play basketball with 5 players?
This is pro because you have to have a minimum of 2.
That's it?
That's it. In this particular tournament, you had to have at least 2 players on the court at all times. So that meant at least 2 people were going to be playing the whole time if you only had 2. So after the game got started, so they started with 5. 3 of them just decided to quit playing and just sat on the bench.
Just got worn out?
Yep. That left 2. And then one of the two got fouled out, and he had to sit on the bench, which left one player. And
the other guys didn't get up to help him?
No, they decided they were done for the day. And they ended up having to forfeit the game because they didn't have enough players on the court. And the score was 38-5 when they called the game.
Well, I would have thought it was 138-5. Really, honestly, 38-5, that's pretty good.
I don't know that it got past the first little...
That may be the first 4 minutes of the game.
4 minutes of the game, whatever. I don't know. That's pretty sad.
You know what else is sad?
But they had to show up or face a fine.
Well, you know what the other sad thing is?
What?
That other team must really suck. You think about it.
That
you
is
got
so
how many?
true.
7 guys on a court, maybe playing 2 guys, and it was only 30. What was the score?
38-5.
That had to be one of them, and that's a pro team.
And that's what got me tickled was because if you ever watched an upwards basketball team that is between the ages of 5 and 7, those kids get out there. They steal the ball from each other on their own team. They decided they're done. They just go walk off and they go sit on the bench. They're standing out there.
That's the way I played baseball. If I got tired in the outfield, I just sat down and played with the dandelion.
So it just
of course, I was in college.
It just kind of reminded me of a youth basketball team. Yeah, like
kids.
I'm just like I'm tired. I'm just gonna go sit down, kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen to the team now. If I had to guess, it's probably going to be
I don't know that they're going to stay in
done
business. And that's a pro team with those guys being paid. So if you're being paid because you're a pro team, that means you're being paid. How can those 3 guys just decide they're going to sit down? Why didn't the coach go, play or you're off the team?
Yeah,
or
well,
you're
my
fired?
thought's the same. I don't know.
We need to go sign up for basketball team.
I could play that basketball because I could just sit on the side and say I'm done.
I'm done.
I'm done. I'll watch him play those other 6, 7 guys.
It just owned me. I was like, this is hilarious.
That must have been the suckiest game to watch, even if it lasted 10 minutes.
I also told you about Dine, Dashed, and Threatened.
Now, who was threatened?
Okay, well, listen to this. There was a party of 20 people who went inside a Houston restaurant. Mm-hmm. It was called the Crazy Cajun Seafood and Sports. And the bill between all 20 people was well over $500, right?
I could see that, yeah. Drinking a lot, eating seafood and stuff. They had
a server, and they ran her to death. They complained about everything. You couldn't please them. They all took off without paying.
No, they
Yes,
dumped
they did.
on her?
They dumped on her. So the manager chases them out and threatens them. You either come back in here and pay your bill or I'm calling the cops. 2 of them ended up coming back and settling up. The rest of the 18 took off. The interesting part about this is, as they were leaving, amongst the manager saying, we're gonna
call the police and all
they
that.
were threatening the staff. They were come back and do stuff to the staff. All the cars that had parked in the parking lot had backed in up against where you couldn't read their tags.
Oh, they thought this thing out well
they
in advance
had
and
done
just had
it.
a party.
Yes. And here's the thing: they were complaining that they weren't going to tip the lady because parties over 6, the tip is automatically included.
Yeah, sure.
Well, they're saying we're not doing that. You can't make us do it. The thing is, in Texas, yes, you can.
Ah, this is in Texas and Houston.
Yeah, if it is if it's mandated on there that you have to pay a 18% gratuity to the bill. You have to pay it because it's not considered a tip. It's considered part of the bill.
Right.
And if it's properly disclosed, if you can see it, you are obligated to pay it. But this
So
is
two of the
dine and
guys had to come up
dashing.
with like $250 a piece.
I don't know what ended up happening.
Well,
if they just paid their
$500
part or what.
Just theirs?
It says that dine and dashing is legally classified as theft of service under their penal code, and for a bill exceeding $500, the offense can be prosecuted as a Class B misdemeanor.
Oh.
But I think it should be a felony.
Well, over $500.
Yeah.
I thought any thievery over $500 made it a.
As a server, I've done that
too.
as part.
I did it for years and years.
And up until about a year and a half ago, I was still doing it as a part-time gig, and I have had it happen. I've had people
too.
walk out. You hand them the bill.
Oh, and
then
people
you've
have
got
their little.
5 or 6 other tables.
You don't see them, and you look around, they're gone.
They're gone.
And there's nothing on the table. Yep.
And then guess who they hold accountable for it?
Right. Well, a lot of people don't realize different restaurants do it different ways. When I worked at this one restaurant in Birmingham, they gave you your little book to your order book. Nothing was digital back then. You had to write everything down, and you had a pouch. And so let's say you go to a table. You had a table, and they ordered food, and you served them. At the end of the night, you took them their bill. And they would give you like $100 in your pouch, the restaurant would, to make change. So let's say their bill was $40, and they give you $50 or they give you $100 bill, and then you take their $40, you give them $60 back, and then hopefully they leave you a good tip. Well, at the end of the night, you took your 7 or 8, whatever your tickets were, added it all up so that you had 7 diners that night. So now they all spent a total of $300. You had to pay the restaurant $300 out of your pouch.
Yep.
And then the $100 they gave you to make change. So you give them $400. Everything else should be your tips.
Exactly. Unless
If
it's
somebody
credit cards,
walks
but they didn't
out,
have those back then.
you still have to pay that tab.
I happen
so
to be.
if that $40 couple bolt on you, that's $40 now, plus no tip. You've got to pay at the end of the night
So that means you worked all that time
for nothing.
For nothing.
As a matter
Over
of fact,
the time it was
somebody
$2.13 an
bolt on me
hour.
one time, and I didn't have enough tips to pay for because they got a bottle of wine and stuff. Their bill this is back years ago, and this is like huge. Their bill was over $100. Nowadays, that's not a big deal really, but it'd be like having a $300 bill now. And I couldn't pay it all that one night because, first of all, I needed some of the money for gas.
Right.
So the restaurant worked out a deal where I gave them half my tips. We didn't make hardly any money. It was mostly tips you made your money. They didn't have to pay minimum wage because, they considered your tips to be part of your salary or whatever.
Right.
I had to give them half my tips for a whole week. I worked for half my tips to pay off that one jerky couple that bolted on me. And I don't think a lot of people realize that the restaurant doesn't take the bite. In a lot of cases, it's the server that you're stealing
Which
from.
I think is wrong. I'm going to be honest.
I
think
do
that
too.
is
I never
completely
thought
wrong.
the restaurant
because
puts you in the position of being not only the server, but then being the policeman or whatever. And then you take but you know why they do that? They did that because, let's say you had friends come in and you would serve them a nice big fancy meal and then tell them they'd leave and you'd tell them that they bolted on you and you were giving your friends a free meal. That's why they pulled that.
Oh, yeah.
To keep servers from also pulling jerky
take it
things.
because there is dishonest servers out there too.
Sure.
But I
it's
had it happen to
not
me.
fair.
It's not fair because
That's why I like it where you serve them the bill and they go pay on the way out. They pay the cashier. You don't have to handle money. You just take them you take their order, you give them their food, you give them their ticket at the end of the night, and then they pay the cashier. They don't give you money doesn't. That way you can't be accused of stealing anything or whatever.
Yeah. And here's the thing. The article didn't say that the manager ever had to come to the table. I think they probably just ran the server ragged, which I've had that happen before too.
I have too.
But I worked at a restaurant one time and we had a big event and we had a bunch of people that were sitting at one table, and everybody was separate. And
That's
I'm
horrible.
trying to give everybody, there's, a whole bunch of people in this little bitty place, and I'm trying to give everybody their tickets.
Right.
And one by one, they just, quietly scooted out the door.
No.
And, but there was one guy there, and I said, "Where are your friends?" Because they left without paying. And he was like, "I don't know." I was like, "Well, you need to call them. You need to tell them to come back here and pay this, because I'm not going to be held responsible for this." He ended up covering it for all of them.
Really? Well, he was a better friend than
Yeah, because
most.
I wouldn't have done it.
No, I don't know that. No.
Heck no.
I'm not going to cover for a thieving friend.
And he ended up tipping me pretty well too. But I mean, still, I was like, "Well, I'm not having this." And some of them, I knew who they were. They had come in before, and I was telling my manager, "It's this guy and this guy and this guy. The ones that come in for so and so." He was like, "Oh, okay," but they weren't going to make me pay it.
Good.
But still,
Yeah.
I was going to be.
Well,
I
they
wasn't
didn't
gonna
tip you either.
Right. I was going to be working for free that night, and that
Right.
wasn't going to happen either. So.
I had to chase two guys out to a car one time. It was a restaurant called the Mule, and it was in the old Victoria Station on Morris Avenue in downtown Birmingham. And these two young guys that were dressed like businessmen, they came in, they were wearing suits and ties for lunch. And, back then, an expensive lunch was $25, and they ran up like a $80 bill. I think they split a bottle of wine. This is lunch, and they had a fancy shrimp lunch and stuff. Anyway, they had this scam where I put the ticket on the table, and they just wanted one ticket. It wasn't separate, but one of them would get up and act like he was going to the cashier.
Oh, okay.
And the other one went to the bathroom. And what would happen is I'd see one of them get up and head toward the thing with his wallet out, and I'd see the other guy head to the bathroom. I figure, okay, he's paying the bill. And what he would do is he would then, when I wasn't paying attention, he just put his wallet back in his pocket, thanked the cashier or the cashier as he went by, said, "Thank you, my buddy's in the bathroom. He'll be out in a minute." And just go to the car, and then the buddy would come out of the bathroom and just go to the car. Of course, they didn't know who was who, and they weren't paying attention. And I came out, and there's the ticket still on the dang table. Well, I saw the second guy going out the door.
You chased them.
Man, I grabbed that thing up, and I went out to the car, and I threatened to bash the car and rip the. I did. I said, "You go in there and you pay this." They said, "No, we don't. It wasn't that good anyway. We don't. We shouldn't have to pay or whatever." And I said, "Okay, well, I'm going to sit here and we're going to either fight. I'm going to do as much damage to this car as I can. You want that?" And one of them said, "Well," they didn't want to fight. They didn't want me tearing up the car, so they went back in and paid.
Well, good for them.
I didn't get a tip, of course.
Going back in and paying.
No tip, but at least
Well,
they
that's
paid.
fine.
That was one of the restaurants where had they not paid it, I'd have had to pay the bill.
Oh, shit. I would have been.
Yeah. So I wasn't going to fight them. I was going to do anything I had to do.
All right, it's 8:20. We're going to take a break. When we come back, there is a new bill in Texas that they're hoping to pass that is going to bring back something to schools there that has been missing for quite a while. So we'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio.
Oatmeal.
Reese and Dollar Bill broadcasting live from the Clanton Church studio. Stay with us.
Need reliable towing or diesel repair? Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair has you covered. We specialize in light and heavy duty towing and recovery with the latest equipment for any job, from campers and tractor trailers to winch box recoveries, and the only local-based rotator in the county. We do it all. Our diesel repair services include computer diagnostics, engine rebuilds, transmission and clutch work, and general maintenance. Trust Mem's Wrecker and Heavy Duty Diesel Repair for top-notch service. Call us at 205-217-1984. Some family traditions begin with an ending. Lasting family legacies are established at Martin Funeral Home, where for over 100 years, we have served the families in our community. Bobby, Donnie, Norma, and our family at Martin Funeral Home would like to express our sincere gratitude for allowing us to serve your family. Every life story deserves the perfect setting. We are here to make that happen for you and your loved one. We offer traditional funeral home services, and we are now excited to be the home of the first crematory in Clanton, Alabama. Our goal is to serve our families no matter what their needs are. Martin Funeral Home, serving Chilton County since 1921. Please give us a call at 205-755-3550.
Are you tired of big box stores where you're just another number? You deserve better. Furniture that's built to last from people who treat you like family. At Farmers Home Furniture in Clanton, we do things differently. As an employee-owned company, we take pride in personal service. We'll listen to what you need and help you find the perfect piece for your home from trusted, top-notch name brand. Whether it's a cozy sofa for movie nights, a dining set built for real life, or a recliner that melts the stress away, we've got you covered. Don't settle for less. Experience the difference at Farmers Home Furniture in Clanton, where you're not just a customer, you're family. We are back. The time is 8:23. You're listening to Morning Mayhem on Piper Peach Radio. Teresa and Dollar Bill here with you.
47 degrees outside right now, so it's not that cold.
No, thank goodness. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's been chilly the last couple of days. I want to say good morning to our YouTube watchers and listeners. Good morning, Miriam. And I don't know who this person is. I've just got their @ sign, so it's SKS Hugo.
You go.
Thank y'all for watching and listening. We appreciate y'all very
Yeah,
much.
thanks, YouTubers.
Our YouTubers. There is a new proposal that is coming through Texas. And right now, they are proposing to decide whether public school children across the state will be required to read sections of the Bible.
What? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I thought you said they were going to bring back something. I thought it was going to be paddling.
Well, I wish they'd do that too, but they're actually a preliminary vote is expected next week with a final adoption to be in April of this year. And some of the things that they're talking about, doing is just like you're do unto others as you would have them do unto you type of thing. So things
More
like Matthew,
morality lessons.
like Matthew 6:25-34, do not be anxious. The definition of love, Corinthians 13, and they've got each grade. So grade 6 would be do not be anxious. Grade 7, the definition of love. The Shepherd's Psalm, grade 7. Jonah and the whale, grade 7. The 8 Beatitudes, grade 8. David and Goliath is part of English, and just so on and so forth. So a lot of different ones, and it's just kind of things that are, I guess, part of your everyday, which the Bible is anyway, but just certain things that would be appropriate for school age. So I will say I think it's a great idea. I don't know that forcing mandating schools to do that. I don't know that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I'm on board with that. But I do think taking, what are some of the things we used to do in school? So we did the Pledge of Allegiance. We did
sometimes they had a prayer every day.
Prayer, like a
Just
little
an opening prayer every,
a morning invocation
Devotional.
or something devotional.
Well, here's the deal.
like that.
I'm a Christian, so
yeah.
I mean, I'm all for anything Bible in school and stuff. Except, here's the deal: this country was founded on freedom of religion. So,
right.
Again, I'm a conservative, right-wing Christian guy, but legally or morally or ethically, what do you do if since it's public school? That's all
That's the
children.
thing.
So what do you do for the Jewish kids and the Muslim kids and the Buddhist
Jehovah's Witness.
and the Jehovah's Witness. I mean, you start now saying, well, oh boy, we can, and even in the Christian religion, you've got Jehovah's Witness. They're Christian, but they're different than other types of Mormons. I mean, so I mean, I don't know. To me, it's. I want to say, yeah, that's okay. It isn't going to hurt anybody to learn the 10, commandments, and thou shalt not kill, and that, it's all good stuff. But you start getting into this thing about, since we're supposed to be, freedom of religion can also mean freedom from religion. And so, this gets like back to the Puritans and everybody else. You start pushing your brand of Christianity or that on public schools, that's not what's supposed to happen. Now, if you want your kid to have all this Christian Bible stuff every day, then send them to a Christian school or a private Christian school. Or I think there are some public schools that are considered kind of Christian schools in some places. So that's fine, because at least the label is there and people know what their kids are getting. But in general, in public school, you got to be careful about what rhetoric because I also don't like all this stuff where people are pushing all this agendas for like transsexual. I mean, I don't know that I want that pushed in school either.
Well, I don't.
No,
I
know,
absolutely don't. And
so you got to be careful about picking and choosing what you believe is the right thing in a deal where really it's
and there
our
are some
Constitution is supposed to be guiding us on what we do. I don't know.
I don't think anything like that should be pushed in school. You're in there to learn, not have ideology of any kind shoved
well,
upon
and it also works on. There's different things for different ages. The young kids should be learning just the basics of what we all want to learn in life, and that includes good behavior and bad behavior, which starts to get into morality. The problem is as they get older, you can complicate things a little bit because you want them deep thinkers. You want people to ponder the issues in life that we all have to face as adults. And that includes all this crazy social stuff as well as morality and religion. But you have to kind of do it as they can handle it or as they grow older. College, I've always believed, now I'm kind of liberal when it comes to college education in the sense that you've got to expose kids, if they're getting higher education to that point, then they need to be exposed to radical stuff, because you've got in your whole life, as you mature and you grow and you go through life, you have to daily challenges to what to accept and what to reject and what to understand. And, you have to learn that through exploration. So I don't know. I'm just so glad I don't have little kids anymore.
Yeah.
Because this world is becoming far too complicated, complex, and to me, there's so much negative now in the world. I don't know how you shield your child from it, and yet at the same time, you want to shield them, but they're going to have to deal with it at some point in their lives. So you've got to build that thing in them where they can handle cognitive thought about what they want to do with their lives. So
It's
I
true.
don't know.
That's very true.
It's so scary.
I mean,
This
while
world-
in theory it's a good thing, it really
Yeah.
is kind of when you're forcing people, like right now, that's the big thing. I don't want to be told, I don't want to be forced to take a vaccine. I don't want to be forced to do this. I don't want to be
Right.
forced to do that. But when you start doing that, that's exactly what you're doing.
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
can't have it both ways. Regardless of what side of the political fence you're on, you can't have it both ways.
It's funny because I remember when this exact discussion we're having now about this it's always been ongoing. Always. Remember, it's been the thing about, do you put the 10 Commandments in a school or is that not allowed? I remember when, of course, this vaccination thing's going on now. And, the measles are starting to come back and all these things because people are rejecting vaccines. Well, do you have the right to say, I don't want a vaccine, or does the government have a right to make you get vaccinated? It's we've always been discussing this kind of stuff. And I
Yeah.
remember when people got mad because the government was going to make you wear a seatbelt.
Yeah, no.
You know, I remember that clear as a bell, that when they started saying that they were going to make a law that says you could be fined if you're caught not wearing a seatbelt,
Right.
people rejected. Said, if I want to drive without a seatbelt, that's my right. And it was a big deal. Fluoridation of water was a big deal. I don't want to, every time you're making me drink fluoride, I think that's a poison, you know. Oh man, it never ends.
You're right.
It never ends. There's always something or many things that we are being forced, or people, you know, laws and stuff that people reject. And it's never going to end because it never stops.
Yeah, and Miriam has a very good point, and I was actually going to make the same point. It's maybe teaching the moral aspect of it instead of the religious aspect of it, kind of like, she says, like nursery rhymes used to do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just, you know, I like that. I like, you know, having the moral aspect of it, but maybe not forcing the religious part of it, because, I mean, that's really kind of something that needs to stay separated in a way.
Agree.
You know, if you want to have a invocation in the morning, that way, if people don't want to participate in that, they don't have to.
Right.
You know, they don't have to do that. But like when, and I always felt bad for my friend in school. I had a friend that was, her family was Jehovah's Witness, and so when we did any kind of celebration in school for a holiday of
She
any
couldn't do
kind,
it.
she
Or
couldn't
he could, yeah.
participate, and it always made me feel bad. I
Right.
couldn't even get her a birthday. You weren't
No.
allowed to do birthdays.
You're
Now,
not allowed to do birthdays. You can't pledge allegiance to the flag, because saying the Pledge of Allegiance is, in their thoughts, worshiping a false god. You can't celebrate Christmas, birthday. You know, it's like the Jewish thing. There's just it's just a different religion, and it's hard to, you know, if you're going to be in a religion that is, let's say, different from what you're culturally surrounded by,
Right.
like a Christian in a Muslim society or Muslims in a Christian society, there's a certain amount of acceptance you're going to have that you're different or yours is not the paramount religion.
Right.
You got to know that. The Jewish people have long known that they are minorities around. Now, it doesn't mean you be mean to them or you can't show respect and you can't
Exactly.
discriminate.
Yeah.
But they understand that not everybody's Jewish, and you have to look at it that way. But you don't need to be shoving stuff down their throat. Also, you know, holding them so separate that they feel they can't live their lives in this country.
And she's Miriam's right. She says our society needs those lessons and understand why it's important. And I agree with that. And
Yeah.
but yeah, the pushing the religion itself, religion as far as the Bible itself, and making it mandatory. It really, I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, well, you know, here in the South, we're all, you know, we are the golden buckle of the Bible Belt, you know, and many people feel very strongly that that you need to keep your Christian beliefs first and foremost, and Jesus right in front of everything, and that's a good thing if you're a Christian. That's
Sure.
But I do believe that you also have to be respectful. The Bible teaches that you should be respectful of people and you know, do unto others. And so you can be very strong in your faith without, I think, insulting other people.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a new bill that, you know, they've already banned smoking in public places for the most part. I
lot
mean,
of them, yeah.
pretty much all of them. In Alabama, it's pretty much you can't smoke inside unless you're a privately owned entity. Like, you still have some.
Birmingham, though, I think you're not allowed to smoke. Not only not in any public building, but you can't smoke within 7 feet of the front door.
Go to, I don't know, I haven't seen it around here, but in Pell City, there's a hospital there in Pell City. It's a UAB hospital now, where all of the workers that smoke, you can only smoke on your break, and you have to drive off the premises. So there's like a little area where you'll go by there in a certain time of day, and there's like 15 cars in this one area
Under some tent
and
somewhere or
people
something.
it's not a tent, it's just I don't know. It's kind of off the road, kind of back a little bit, and they're all, sometimes sitting outside, standing outside their car smoking, or just sitting in their car smoking. And then I guess they drive back up into the parking lot, and I'm like, well, you really have to want to smoke pretty bad. But now they've introduced a bill that not only would ban smoking, but it bans vaping in public places. And that is from the Alabama Clean Indoor Act, which was passed in 2003, that prohibits smoking in most enclosed places, public places, including retail stores, restaurants, government buildings, malls, elevators, hospitals, nursing homes. The list goes on and on. And now there is a bill that is sponsored by Senator Gerald Allen, said the use of electronic nicotine delivery system, which is a vape.
Yeah.
they have to like be, I don't know, not politically correct, but I guess technically correct.
Yeah, they're just that. Yeah.
It says that they sponsored this bill last year. It did not pass, and they're putting it again and hoping that it's gonna pass this time. Because, I mean, I've been in public places, and people are sitting there at the bar or at the table, hitting that vape, just hitting that vape.
Well,
And as long as it smells nice, it doesn't bother me. But I mean, smoking like cigarettes to me stinks.
Yeah,
and I don't like the way it smells. I don't want it blown in my face. I don't want it around me, because I don't want to walk in somewhere and walk out and smell
like a cigarette.
Smell like a
or an
cigarette.
old
That
cigarette.
does bother me.
Well,
But
vaping, I
really
don't
doesn't.
understand vaping, because I've got friends that vape, or I know some people that vape, because my friends are doing it to get off of cigarettes, and so they're doing their vaping to get nicotine. They're trying to step off that, and they want to get rid of that, but I don't know if they
They make nicotine
can.
gum, though.
Yeah, I mean, they got Nicorette, you can use
Yeah.
that, but they vape, and there's a couple of them that I'm friends with that vape a little. I never see the vape. That whatever it is, it's so weak. They suck on it.
It fits in their hand.
and you don't see much. But I've seen some people vape that look like a freight train
like a
coming.
cloud.
They blow out this cloud that is just, it's amazing. It looks like a volcano, and I don't understand the difference. Is that because you can set those things for a lot more strength or something?
Some of them, I think you can.
Yeah. I
and
just don't understand it, but I don't.
got some
Vaping to me
people
is no
that-
different than smoking, and I know that it's technically different because you're burning something and you are pulling in smoke, whereas when you vape, you're pulling in vapor, but you're still exhaling, and you're exhaling this material.
all of that stuff into the air.
Yeah, so
yes.
I don't know. I agree that vaping should be treated probably not much different than smoking. And, I'm a kid. I mean, I'm old. So when I was a kid, everybody smoked everywhere. Both my parents smoked in a car with the windows up in the wintertime.
About choked
and
us out.
It was unbelievable. And, barber chairs had cigarette ashtrays in the barber chair thing, so you could sit there while you're getting a haircut and smoke. The person cutting your hair was smoking. If you were in an airplane, everybody smoked.
Cigarette hanging out.
Oh yeah, no restaurant had. I remember when when I was even when I was in college, there were no smoking and they just started doing non-smoking sections, and when they first started that, they would take half or a third of the restaurant dining area and just say that's non-smoking over there. Well, there was no air conditioning difference, or you were still you were just in the room. You were just not right next to somebody.
Because they would ask
smoking.
you, would you prefer non-smoking or non-smoking? And I was always going non-smoking.
Yeah, but it didn't matter. You were in the same room.
But at least it wasn't being blown like right in my face, and I wasn't just haze over my head. There was that.
I remember when they first started, they had smoking and non-smoking. I don't know if you remember. You're pretty young, but in airplanes, there was smoking, which is ridiculous because you're all in the same aluminum tube. I mean, if one person at the very front of the plane, right, sitting behind the pilot, smoked, the guy in the tail was still breathing the same amount of smoke as anyone else. But I remember one time a friend of mine flew to Greece and back on the Greek airlines. And Greeks, a lot of them, they are smoke-a-hot. Man, they love their cigarettes. A lot of the Greeks did. And he said their airplane had two sections, smoking and more smoking.
And more smoking. Yeah.
I mean,
Pretty much true.
He said it was unbelievable. So, yeah, the world has changed a lot. I mean, just like I can remember when no cars had seatbelts.
Mm-hmm.
My dad had to spend a good bit of money. He had an old car, and they grandfathered old cars for a long time, but he decided he was going to keep this old Plymouth we had. He took it to the thing, and he had to pay a lot of money, and they had to put seatbelts in a car that was built without seatbelts. They had to bolt them through the floorboard. So I remember metal dashboards, no seatbelts, and no airbags. It was just you were, the way your mama would drive. She'd drive with her hand across your.
Oh yeah.
Because you stood in the seat.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when everybody smoked everywhere. It's just what a change in life. It's been amazing over the past 40, 50 years.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. Miriam, I was going to say the same thing. She and I think we were separated at birth. She said, I remember being sent in the store to go buy Ma's cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
I'd go down to the store. We ride our bikes. I'd go down to Bill's grocery, and I'd get, 3 packs of cigarettes for my mama. And I'd come, what was it, $1.50 or something I was
gonna
rolling
say,
up in there
my
with.
mother would say, me and my buddy Raymond and Alan, we were going to ride our bikes to the little store, we called it. It was Fred and Francis Rietta owned this little Italian grocery store off Salter Road in Homewood. And we'd ride our bikes down to the Riettas. And my mother would say, you going down to the store, little store? And I would say, yeah, yes, ma'am, can we? And she said, yeah. And give me a 5 and said, bring me back 2 packs of, cigarettes. And, you just walk in and say, 2 packs of cigarettes. It didn't matter. There was no age limit or anything.
No, and you had to, they'd always put them in a little brown paper sack, and I would, I'd have to figure out how I was going to hold on to it
I held
and
mine
ride my back.
with my left hand while I rode my bike. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, and of course, nobody at that time really cared that much whether you were buying them for you or, kids smoke. I went to high school. We had a smoking section. Did you have a smoking section in high school?
Outside, yeah.
Had the smoke pit.
Teachers and students.
Yeah, you'd look out there and
Being at
there'd be
the
the
smoke
teachers
pit.
sitting out there with some of the, usually it was the juniors and seniors, and were the ones that could smoke, and they're all out there talking together outside smoking at school.
Isn't that crazy? But they had to allow it because there were so many kids that did smoke back then. I think. Now, my closer friends that I spent a lot of time with did not smoke, but there were a lot of my school friends that I was friends with in school, and we would talk and cut up and stuff. They did smoke.
Yeah, the hoodlums,
the hoods,
and the
hoodies.
sluts.
We call them the hoodies.
Yeah.
The hoods.
That's what my friend said. Yeah,
He's
are you
a
a
hoodie.
hoodlum or a slut? It's like what? That's what they called them. Unbelievable. What a time. Well, it's what they said,
My word.
If you smoked when you were, before you got out of high school, you were kind of considered a rough one. Unbelievable. Times do change, don't they?
And see, the thing is with vaping, though, I never really thought about it from the aspect of it still blowing the stuff in the air. My thing is when I smell it, I'm thinking, what cloud of lies is this now? Because it either smells like cotton candy or Skittles or bubble gum or something good, and you're just like,
it does. It smells almost tasty.
It does.
But that's the whole problem because they originally that was a delivery system for not just flavors but for nicotine, and then they started, as they do, they saw a potential, and they started making all this candy flavored stuff for kids with nicotine and stuff in them. So it was. Once again, it was a delivery system to addict a very young person to a product, and it's nicotine, which is addictive. And I'm like you're talking about, you can't stand cigarettes, smoke. I smoke cigars once in a while.
I don't mind that smell.
Well,
it doesn't bother me.
I'm one of those people, man.
Not all the
I
time,
will not smoke a cigar around anyone that. Unless I ask them, will this
bother you?
Even if it's legal. I mean, if I'm at there's a restaurant I go to and they've got an outdoor seating area and it's mainly for cigars, not for cigarettes, but some people go out there and smoke cigarettes. But It's mainly it's a bar so that you can go out there and have a drink and smoke a cigar. But if anyone else is out there, me and my buddies we always say, will this bother you? And if they say, or act like it will, they even say, no, it's okay, and you can tell they still don't love it, we won't smoke one. I'm not gonna put my nasty habit on somebody, bother somebody else. If I can do it, I will. But if it's gonna bother anybody, I'm not gonna do it there. I'll go somewhere else. I just won't smoke one. I mean, it's not like I have to. It's not like I'm addicted to it. I just enjoy it.
Right.
I can put the joy off later,
Yeah.
or whatever, if it's going to bother somebody.
The one thing that is considered a smoking device that I can I will follow somebody around. I don't mind if that pipe.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
your
my
dad.
daddy.
Yep.
He smoked a pipe. I mean, he was young. He was in his 20s when he was smoking a pipe.
I tried to smoke a
my
pipe in
gosh,
college.
I loved it.
I believe back in the early 70s, two things. I believed you looked sophisticated and you were a college guy. You needed to smoke a pipe. So
You decided that, huh?
I bought a pipe and I was going to do my studies and smoke my pipe.
You're going to have one of those glass
monocle, yeah.
Your
Talk suddenly with a British accent. Hello. Like Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
Well, I bought this pipe tobacco called Borkum Riff Cherry. Oh my God,
gosh.
it smelled, when you burned it, I mean, I wanted to burn it in like an incense thing.
Yes.
It just smelled so good. Now, it doesn't taste that good, but the problem is, I don't know, guys, I don't know too many women who've ever smoked a pipe much, but guys who've tried to smoke a pipe will tell you, if you want to smoke a pipe, it becomes your full-time job. You can't just smoke a pipe. You've not constantly are fiddling with it. You're putting tobacco in it. You're tamping it. You're cleaning it with a pipe cleaner. You're lighting it. You're smoking for 10 seconds, and then you got to relight it. It didn't never. It's nonstop. It's a full-time job to smoke a pipe, and I just got to where I was too lazy to smoke a pipe.
And they have so many different. My daddy had all different kinds of pipes.
Flavors, yeah.
He had different
pipes.
pipes. He had the kind that are like
Meerschaum, the white-looking, yeah.
almost like I don't know how to explain. Some of them have like ivory bone or something,
Yeah,
and then
that's
other ones were
meerschaum.
corn cobs. And he had like a collection of different ones. They have the different filters on them. I mean, it was just so neat. And he had this little, like a felt case or something.
You know what it is? It's a
It was.
toys.
It was.
It's toys.
And Miriam says pipe smokers were considered classier than the rest of
Right,
us. So right off the
exactly.
bat, with you smoking a pipe, you got this.
I thought it made me
this
look like
burst of
this
esteem.
sophisticated.
Yeah,
I wanted to
heck
start
yeah.
singing "Putting on the Ritz."
Yeah, and see, I don't. Until we start talking about stuff like that, I really don't. If I smell a pipe, I will just.
Listen,
But the cherry one,
ultimate
like
for
you said,
me-
I remember he had several that were hickory and cherry and some others
Oh, yeah.
that just,
Smelled
man,
so
they smelled
good.
so good.
Yeah,
and he was
it
smoking in the
does.
house. He didn't care.
Yeah, I like. Well, most pipe smokers have to be inside because if you go outside and it starts raining,
Or the wind blows.
the wind blows, you're done. That
That's
stuff
it.
comes. Pipes. I don't understand.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
But you do look more sophisticated. I give it you that. What I wanted when I was in college, it's funny. I wanted two things. I wanted a pipe and a tweed jacket. That to me
man.
spoke.
That had
college.
professor written all over it.
Yeah, you do. Hello. Hello.
I love it.
I'm reading Homer right now.
Oh.
I'm reading the Iliad.
Real quick, I want to talk about hubby and I started watching this. We get on these kicks where we'll find a series or something, and we're like locked in on them.
Did you ever finish watching the Alien? What was it?
No, I gave up on it.
It got really bizarre.
Too
but
much for me.
I watched it it was good. I love that actor that plays. I forgot his name.
The doctor. He's funny.
Yeah, he's funny. He's a good actor. He was also on that space thing, that Firefly or whatever it was.
Oh, see, I don't even know that. I'm really not
He was the
big on
captain of the
space
ship.
stuff. But
Yeah. Well, I just like him as an actor, and he's become kind of well known now. He's getting well known, but he's funny.
I gave up on that. We were watching Blind Spot. I ended
never
up
watched
giving
that.
up on that. There were
How
just
about Landman?
too
You watching
many.
Landman at
Oh,
all? I love Landman.
I am locked all the way in. I do not like Demi Moore. And I don't like her character.
I know
I
that
don't
she's-
like her.
Yeah.
I don't think she does a good job of being somebody that lives in Texas. I think she does it too much to me. But Billy Bob Thornton, he nails it. He is so. I love his character, and Sam Elliott has just been a.
Oh, Sam Elliott. I
Oh
love
my
his
gosh, he has
dad.
been such a icing on the cake for that for me. They
love
already
his
had
voice.
the season finale already, so we
Right.
got to wait almost a year before another one comes back out, and I'm
know
just
it.
like, ugh. Now I'm sitting waiting on Reacher to come back,
I like
season
Reacher.
4.
I've watched that one.
Tulsa King is on. We're
I
waiting on
watched
that to
a
come
little of
back.
that, yeah.
But we started watching this one called, oh gosh, I've already forgotten the name of it. I told my husband I saw something about it today. It's called The Abandons.
The Abandoned.
Yes, it has Gillian Anderson, who used to be in the X-Files,
Right.
and Lena somebody, I can't
Yeah.
think of her name. And I really like it.
What's it
I mean,
about?
It's about a lady who kind of runs the town a little bit. She's got some kids, and then you've got this other lady who's adopted a bunch of kids, and this lady owns a bunch of land that Gillian Anderson's character wants, and they can't
Can't work out.
work out a deal, and it's just
Why is it called The Abandons?
I think because the kids that Lena's character has, she's like there's 5 of them. They're kids that have been abandoned,
Oh, I got you.
and so they're like the good, but kinda, And then Jillian is just straight up not good, But I think she does a great job in that. And I just found out they're not renewing it after the season, and
One
I'm like.
season?
One and done. They said that it started off strong, like the first 2 episodes, and then after that, it went downhill, and they only had like 4 million viewers. So, which to me is still a lot, but I was
Guess
one of
not
the
in
ones. We're not going to watch it now.
television land, streaming land.
There is a new thing. I know people know about this because it's all over Facebook. There was a 6-part Netflix series. It was just had 6 episodes. It was called His and Hers. And we watched that over the last 2 nights. And I even posted on Facebook this morning. That series, I call it a mini series, was diabolical. It was crazy from the start to the finish. It was a whodunit. Oh my gosh. There were so many times where I thought I had figured out who done it, at least 5 times. And then something would happen and it would change my mind. The ending blew my mind. Hubby over there.
His and Hers.
It's called His and Hers. Hubby over there, he called it. He
Jeffrey?
nailed it. He nailed it about, I'd say it was 6 episodes. I'd say 4th episode, he went, oh, I know who did it. And I was like, I didn't think. I was like, not for sure. I don't think that's who it is. I was like, nah, I don't think so.
He nailed it.
He nailed it. But you don't find out, when I tell you, you don't find out till the very, very end, the last 5 minutes of this thing, you find out who did it.
Wow.
And your mouth will drop open. It will
His
just
and Hers.
hit.
I can do that because I'm like you. I get into some of these and then I kind of lose interest. Mm-hmm. But if it's just a one shot 6 times, I can make that one to the end.
Yeah, and because now it's over, and you're just like, what? Because it was so crazy. There was at least, there were like, I don't know, probably 8 different suspects, I want to say, and then you're just like, and then when the one person that I thought it was, I was like, oh, I was honed in on this one. I was like, oh, something's up with this cat. I mean, I know this person did it. No. Absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah, and you'll figure it out too. Why?
And that's on Netflix?
Yes, lately
His
I
and
haven't
Hers.
really found anything on Netflix, and I'm just, really anything that I've been like. We sit there and go through movies and stuff, and I'm like, no, I don't want to watch that one. He's like,
You know what's happened
we just can't agree
if you're
on anything.
streaming now, it's that old thing where there's almost too much to choose from now. When you only
But
have
it's just-
2 or 3 choices, you're going to pick one of them usually. When you got 50 choices, you'll sit there and waste half the time deciding on which one to, and then you've wasted a lot of time and you still hadn't picked one.
Yeah. Now the Abandons, I was all about that. I mean, I really thought it was I love westerns though. You sit me down. Oh yeah, if you sit me down in front of a western, and I'm talking about back in the western times, 1800s.
Oh, this is old.
Oh yeah, it's old. I love that stuff. All about it. But that disappoints me. He's like, well, there's no point in finishing.
That's like with Yellowstone. I liked it better when they went back and did the 1800 Yellowstone with Tim McGraw and Faith Hill
and Sam Elliott.
I didn't, and Sam Elliott. I did. Oh, he was so good in that.
1865 is what it was called. Yep. And
I liked it better than any of the rest of the series.
I cried a lot. That series had me crying a whole lot.
I cried one time, but that's because Faith Hill was in a bathtub and she looked good.
There's one scene with her and another lady, and they're getting tanked on the front porch, and it is hilarious. I have laughed because that just really showed the fun, easygoing side of Faith Hill, because her character in 1860 is uptight.
Yep.
Yes. For sure, uptight. And so when
she ends up committing suicide. Remember, she ended up committing suicide. Faith Hill did. Shot herself in the head. Remember?
No.
Tim McGraw rode off. Remember, she was so distraught over her daughter being killed and all that stuff.
Why do I not remember that main part?
It was bad. It was impressive. I mean, it was sad.
Well, there was, for those of you who were hoping not to find out how it ends, I'm sorry, Bill just gave the ending away.
That's not how it ended. That's just part of it.
That was just part of it, yeah.
It went way on.
Yeah. No, that was the sister.
I don't think
Faith
so.
Hill's sister in that.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it was her sister. Her sister's
maybe it
daughter.
was, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
it was
was.
her sister's daughter. I was like, wait a minute,
That's
how did
right.
I miss that whole part? Had to rewind. That's been like
You
4
may
or
be
5
right.
years ago.
It has, yeah.
I can't remember. It's been that. I can't believe it's been that long, but it has been. All right, it is 8:59. That is just gonna about do it for us today.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
to everyone who was watching and listening on Facebook and on YouTube. We appreciate y'all so much. Thanks for the interaction. I really like that. I like being able to.
We love hearing from you.
Like for y'all to comment and get engaged in it.
And thank you, Baden, for the cookie.
Yes.
I've been eating on it the whole last hour of the show.
He literally did eat one of those things of frosting. It's just there. He's eating another one. There we go.
Well, I had the white one a while ago. I had
we're gonna go
chocolate.
the marine one. Okay, why not? All right. Hope you all have a great weekend. Stay warm out there. And just because they said we're not getting anything doesn't mean we won't. Things can always
Right.
change, but just be weather aware. Pay attention. Bring your pets in. Bring your plants in.
Bring your husbands in.
Bring your husbands in, and also, if you know anybody that needs a safe a warm place to be here in Clanton, again, the sheriffs are going to open up the front part of the jail as a warming station. So, if you know of any, and if you are able to take somebody in, a family or a friend, make sure they stay warm. Please do so. Don't
My
leave
wife
people
just
out
texted
there.
me and said, "Go to the jail."
Go to the jail. See you, bye. Y'all have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Thanks for watching and listening to Morning Mayhem here on Piper Peach Radio. Hit it, Baden.